Are you listening? Damn.
Hey guys, I'm Courtney,
And I'm Josh.
and welcome to the Infinite Balance Podcast.
We'll navigate parenting, relationships, health, fitness, and so much more.
So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's hang out.
Hey guys.
What up?
Caught Courtney by surprise.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a fun and interesting week. It's been a little bit craziness, a lot to get used to, but it's been good overall, I think.
Yeah. Adjustments. It's an
Yeah.
adjustment week.
It's been getting adjustments for me for my new work schedule. It's been adjustments for Courtney with, being home more during the kids, from training the last couple of weeks from me, and dealing with me not being home at night and things like that. So, yeah, it's been some adjustments.
Yeah, it's weird like knowing that you're in the house, but that you're sleeping. That's like
Yeah.
a weird.
I haven't been woken up as much as I thought I would be, though.
That just means I'm doing my job at keeping the kids quiet.
Or I'm that tired.
We're a combo. We don't want to give me the credit, I see.
That could be it too. Either way, I don't want you to feel pressure that you have to keep the kids quiet or anything like that. It's not going to happen when, you go back to work during the day and I have to sleep on their naps, like that type of stuff.
But on the adjustment week, however I can help you,
Yeah. But, yeah, it's basically we've been rolling with the punches. Things are starting to turn around. We have some plans in place for upgrading the show a little bit, and then
On the back end.
yeah, on the back end stuff, the more technical stuff.
Yeah.
Upgrading both of our workflows and integrating those into our daily routines as they are now, and just getting ready for things to come. We've been quietly setting up stuff in the background. We haven't really been around a lot on our social media. Well, I haven't.
I definitely have not been as in my stories as I usually am, which is
Yeah.
kind of nice. It feels weird. I feel like people don't know I'm there. But there are some major changes happening with my business
Yeah.
that I'm still working on the clarity of. So I'm not going to dive too much into it. Not because I don't want to tell you guys, because obviously you guys will be the first ones to know. But just while I'm getting the clarity and getting the steps taken care of that I need to get to this new point, I'm kind of keeping it to myself a little bit.
So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, would love to.
You don't have to disclose all the details or whatever that you don't know about yet, but so there's some big changes since you started working with Denise.
Yeah, so little background, Denise is my life/business coach. She works for Girls Guide Co., so shouting them out. If you are a female entrepreneur trying to start your own business, or even if you really just kind of want a community to help push you towards your goals, definitely get into their community. You can follow them on Instagram. They're great. But so I started working with Denise. I just had my first session on Friday with her. And you ever have an idea and you realize, oh my God, I have 1,000 ideas and I didn't even realize it. That's what happened with my first session with her. It was a really good brain dump. Here's all the business things I want to do. And here's what I really am good at, what I like doing, what makes me happy, what's fun, what I do in my free time. And literally, I kind of brain dumped all that. And she was like, have you thought about doing this? And it's something completely different that I have never thought of doing. But once I started researching it, I was like, that's actually a lot of stuff I do enjoy doing. And so the reason I'm not diving into it more of what that is because I am still doing a little bit of homework of researching 3 different paths that I can go down. And so while I'm just trying to get clarity and figure out which path I want to go down, I'm just keeping it more so to myself because I don't want too much outside influence. And I feel like if I say like, oh, I'm changing and doing this, or oh, I'm going to continue and do this, then I'm setting myself like that's the path I'm on. So if I just kind of keep it ominous.
Once you know what your goals are and what you like your end game is, like then it's fine to put it out into the universe and stuff. But if you're not 100% clear on that yet, you don't want to dedicate yourself to something that's not.
Yeah.
You know.
And and one thing I love about Denise is like, yes, it's her own business. Like she has a coaching business. She wants to make money off of that. But she's not like she could have very easily on our exploration call before I like signed up with her. She could have very easily been like, "Oh, you need like a 6-month contract. That's what I think you need." And I don't know any better. I would have been like, okay, yeah, it's 6 months. Okay. But she didn't. She's like, I think you need 2 months. If you want to continue after that, you can. If not, great. That means I did my job and you got it done. She's all about getting you the results and the success fast, but safe. Mm-hmm. Like not so fast that it's going to implode and it's not going to sustain.
Not 10 million followers and $6,000 in 5 days, like one of those.
Yeah. And it's a different experience, you know. There's some very scary things. I mean, obviously saying that I might be completely changing track, I can say that there is one of the paths is kind of going away from the health and fitness coaching world. And that is super scary because that's what I have been pouring my life and money into for the past year. Mm-hmm. But I also understand that with businesses that happens. There's going to be times where you put money into stuff and it doesn't work out. What's good about the other paths that she has presented to me to look into is that with those, I can work less hours, make more money, potentially. And so if I wanted to do that stuff, like on the side, but not as my own business, I could still do that. So if I wanted to jump in with like and be a part-time personal trainer at a gym, I could do that. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of kind of the paths that she has set forth for me. And that's one of the things that from doing my research is a pro to these other paths, but I'm not giving up in my mind yet about continuing with the health and fitness path.
Yeah.
I just think there's more roadblocks with that because it's a very saturated market, especially what I'm very niched in. Mm-hmm. So that's all part of it. That's all part of figuring this out. And like I said, it's really scary. I mean, I got off my first call with her and I was very excited, but I also cried. Not like crying for 5 minutes, just like tears kind of like streaming down my face slowly, like one at a time. Mm-hmm. Because it was that fear of like, wait, I thought I had this all figured out and maybe I don't, but maybe I do. And this is going to reaffirm that. So it's a lot of emotions, but I also, like I said, I had 1,001 ideas running in my head of where I wanted to go with this business. And I just didn't know where to go. So she's been really helpful with kind of being like, listen, like whatever you do, like we're going to do it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make you successful in that. But she's like, I want it to be something sustainable that you are going to love and it's actually going to give you more freedom.
Yeah.
So she says it herself. She's a good coach, but she's not always a nice coach because she's going to say things that I need to hear and I probably already know, but I might not want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's how I know she's a great coach because she's going to keep it real no matter what my feelings are.
Yeah, and that's what you need sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you might have known exactly where you were going before, but you know, it just sometimes the journey changes and the road forks, and you know, you have to make a choice, or you know, you split yourself in half and go both directions, or you don't go either way, you know.
Yeah, and
that's the beauty of the whole adventure of it, you know.
Yeah, and that's definitely where I'm kind of at, you know. I had this path in my head of like, I'm going to be a health and fitness coach for working moms, because I'm a working mom and I get it, and I can help them with easy meal planning, and I can help them with grocery shopping on a budget and this, that, and the other thing. And then I realized how saturated of a market that is. Mm-hmm. There are so many people and so many businesses who target the working mom that you have to,
especially with health and fitness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Especially health and fitness.
Yeah.
And so you have to really be an expert. And I'm just not at that expertise yet.
Well, not that you're not either, but
yeah,
like, you know, it's not just that you have to be an expert, but you have to have like exposure to a certain level to be successful, I feel like.
Yeah.
And to get there is like clawing up a straight 90-degree mountain.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not impossible. If that's your dream, like, go for it.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to do it, and it's not, you know, it's just you know, in competition with everybody else. It's almost at this point of social media's lifespan, like with how built up it is, if you didn't start years ago, it can be pretty difficult to get started.
Yeah, if you're not already established right now, or you don't have like a huge circle who, when you're like, hey, spend this money to help me out and help me grow and get me exposure, it's just more difficult, unfortunately, in that situation. But so I had that path, and I realized, not that this isn't the path I don't want to go down, but is all of that fighting something I'm ready to do?
Yeah.
And
is the end game worth it for you? Is that like your true goal? Like, maybe what you were aiming for is not your entire purpose.
Yeah. And then that's actually when you kind of stepped in, and I was just telling Josh how I felt lost. And he was like, well, what if it's not meant to be working moms? Like, what if you did something encompassing volleyball? And I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Like, I could do like a one-stop shop volleyball coach where I can offer nutrition plans. I can offer personal training. I can offer volleyball coaching sessions, and I can offer recruitment help, like how to get recruited, all in one package. Like, in that right there, like a month of those services, that right there is like $1,000. Like, that's super easy to do. But the more I look into it, it's very doable, because it's not a huge market of people who offer all of that. It's just a tough market because the people who offer that are like club teams and school teams. So you have to get in with those schools and those clubs to be exclusive to them. Yeah. So
the end game is, in general, especially with like our degree, is the freedom to have our own business and make money off of that, you know, for the lifestyle that we live with our kids. Yeah. And, you know, everything else that's going on.
And I love the club world, but there's a reason I kind of got out of it. And that's because I don't want to feel weighed down and that I'm going to miss my kids' stuff as they get older. That's the one tough part about athletics, is that there's stuff that you have to miss, and I don't want to. Yeah. So that's where Denise then kind of stepped in, and she gave me these other paths, and she said, listen, health and fitness and volleyball, that's all stuff that you can still do. Just that's your side thing. That could be what you do for fun, because that's what you have fun doing, but it doesn't need to be stressful. So different options there.
Exactly.
So, but I'm excited because I do feel like this is the first step in a successful business, and not just keep like having these really good moments in my business and then
Yeah.
like months of it being slow.
Yeah. I think we're both kind of at that same crossroads of what exactly we want to do. Mine definitely is still more along the lines of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But just, like taking the time away from everything that I usually do and in getting used to my schedule and stuff, kind of stepping back and looking at things that I have the possibility of doing. It's always been an option for me to start learning about animal nutrition and, take that avenue and not necessarily completely write off humans or anything,
Yeah.
but just somewhere to expand to. Or, also certain other things that I love doing. Like I love media creation. So, I've been studying a lot. I've been trying to, increase my knowledge of what I do. And, we're very limited when it comes to the technology for it. But, I think for what we have available, I still do a pretty good job of, producing the sound, producing the video and stuff.
100%.
So I like doing that stuff and I like getting into it, and, I think it's just, it's going to take some time, but, it's just interesting when you're on the journey to what you thought was your clear path. And you see like all these branches to the tree that you can hop on, hop off, climb up, go down. Some of them break off, some of them grow stronger, And it's just a really interesting adventure to be able to fully mindfully like experience that,
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because when you were at your last vet company, when you got that, you were like, oh, that could be something really cool that I offer. Like I could offer pet services with services for the owner,
Yeah.
which I don't think there's a huge market for that. I think that could be very interesting.
And there's not a lot that people know about it. you
Yeah,
know?
when that's the interesting part, because a lot of times it's like, well, no, you have to be a vet. Where
Yeah.
if you look at, there are people who have done very well in their lives, not being
Sorry.
a doctor, being just someone who's very passionate and has learned and who has established and built their way up. And I think it's definitely a possibility. And I think you do really love the media market, and that could be something,
Yeah.
that's kind of again, we're kind of going through the same thing at the same time, where we have a couple of different paths that we can go down.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one or two paths that are completely opposite of what our original path was,
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good lesson and moral to kind of like to encompass this episode, is that things change.
Yeah.
People change. You're gonna change. And that's okay. When you find that one thing, it'll
Yeah.
present itself
Yeah.
in a way that you are like, oh, okay, I feel good about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's sustainable. It's something that can always be used or always be needed. And that is what I want to do the rest of my life.
Yeah. And like in my case, it boils down to the same thing. I like face-to-face time.
Mm-hmm.
I like putting myself out there and showing you who I am, rather than playing all like the social media tricks as I see them, and using the promotional tools from that. Like I like putting up videos and sound clips of myself. I like webcam video calls with clients and meeting with them in person, things like that. Like that I will never lose my touch for.
Yeah.
That's where I shine. I don't shine in writing diet plans and things. I can. That's not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll write it, but my favorite thing is to walk you through and give you aha moments.
The admin stuff. Isn't it?
Yeah. Like I like to actually, talk you through it and just provide examples. And because I feel like reading something on paper is one thing, but you always read it as per your interpretation. And even like take Audible books, for example.
Love Audible.
Yeah. And not specifically the brand. I mean, any audiobooks.
Yeah.
But, you can read the book yourself, but hearing an artist read it with their inflections and their emphasis and stuff like that, you might get a different understanding for what the same exact words are.
Which I will say happened. I read the Elvis Duran book, and everyone I've read who like read it and then listened to him do it preferred the Audible because he adds like little annotations, and the way he says certain words, it changes a story when you hear someone say it. And a second book that I'm listening to, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, she literally adds things in that are not in the book.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm sitting down having a conversation with her, and she's telling me her life story.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I feel like it's important, to add your own speck of personality to whatever it is that you do. And that's one thing I always want to stay true to. And I think that's what takes me so long for things to take off. Is not that I don't know what I want to do. It's just that sometimes I need to try out a few different ways before I'm like, I love this. Yeah. And it's just, and I noticed how deeply I dive into things and how, like, am I researching this every day? Am I trying to find new ways to do it? Then I might not really care about it, Mm-hmm. But on the opposite hand, if I am, that might be something that comes to me by surprise. And I'm like, wow, I've been spending a lot of time on this. Like, I must be really enjoying it,
Yeah.
And, it's just, that's my gift. So that's what I want to use to be able to bring things out, to be able to work with people and, stuff like that.
You definitely are more of that, like, here I am, hear me roar, where I like Instagram, I like social media, but I don't like advertising myself.
Yeah.
I like making people feel good. I like inspiring people. I like motivating people. So yes, even if you go on my page and there's a crap ton of selfies, it's because I have to put a picture up. And I rather
I think the way to define that, not to cut you off, is that you're better with the textbook way in a certain way, like you were talking about. If you wanted to take one of the other avenues that Denise had brought up, and you like it sparked something in you, you're good with that kind of stuff. You're good with the background, and you don't need the credit. You don't need you could stand behind super successful coaches, and you could be like for example, like The Rock's personal trainer.
Yeah.
Like The Rock, and he kicks ass in the gym, but do you really know about his personal trainer?
Yeah.
But that's the guy making all the magic happen.
Yeah. And I'm very behind the scenes. If I can make someone's life easier, that literally brings joy to me. Like when people send me messages or comment on my posts like, oh my God, I needed this today. Like, you helped me so much. Like, you're so motivational. That brings me more joy than anything.
Yeah.
I love being able to help people. And one of my friends actually, I love making graphics. So if you have a company that needs graphics, I do them all the time. And she hates Canva. She's like afraid of it. Where
I like Canva.
I love Canva.
I
love it. And she's like, hey, I need help creating engagement in one of my groups. And I was like, cool. Got an idea. Threw some graphics together literally in like a half hour last night. And we're like, here you go. If you want the content for it, like I can help write posts for it, whatever. And she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I'm definitely going to give you credit. And I was like, I don't need the credit.
Yeah.
I know. I just made your life easier.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by, like, I don't mean industry, like textbook industry.
Yeah, you mean I don't,
like you're just a carbon copy of whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're good with that stuff and knowing patterns and knowing, things like that for engineering social media, you know. Me and you talk about this all the time. Like for me, it's more of me showing who I am rather than who I am, and I love being motivational. I love being the face of your inspiration. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm working with somebody, I don't need credit for, like, changing your life, but it makes me feel good that I can help you change your life.
Yeah.
And I want it to be my style. If you're going to resonate with me, I want to resonate with you, and I want it to be, like, a good chemistry. Mm-hmm. It's not that I'm just going to write you templates and you just follow them and go off. And that's not where I shine,
Yeah.
So me and you often get into differences of opinion on how certain things should be done and whatever, just because that's our different styles. But that's also what makes it interesting and what makes us come up with some good stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, like we have alternating paths, but we're also in parallels,
Yeah,
And
we
so
can
it's-
help each other and
Yeah.
see a different side. I know there
Yeah.
are so many times where you'll be like, well, what about this? And I'm like, oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
That could work.
And that's the good part about, like, that's always what I thought of when people used to say opposites attract, because me and you are the same in a lot of ways,
Yeah, we're
Like-
opposite in a lot of ways, but we're also very similar.
and where we're opposite, we're also the same, which is funny.
Yeah, because we're both stubborn, but we're stubborn about
different things.
opposite things.
Yeah,
So fun, guys.
I like it. It's a good game.
No,
it's
you need that balance.
like whack-a-mole. Like once you think you got one, two more pop up, and then you gotta,
Yeah. Yeah, but that was a little off track there. But yeah, no, it's a good balance for us.
Yeah.
And I think it's just funny because as you were saying the things that you like to do and the things you don't like to do, I literally was like, oh, well, if I choose one of these other paths, that's something I would be doing, is the things he doesn't like. And so
Yeah.
I could do that for him.
Yeah. And
So.
it's just weird. It's like puzzle pieces clicking, and
Yeah.
it's not weird. It's fun.
It's also
funny,
something I
but
didn't know you didn't like, that like paperwork administrative side. Where like
I'm
I
just
love
not
that.
tight,
And I love
don't,
it.
Like I said, I don't mind writing diet and fitness plans. I will do it. And like I have to, but most of it I like to do to just keep notes.
Yeah.
And then like when we meet about it is my power moment. That's where I hit you with all of this great information, and I don't just say, "Oh, you should do, I don't know, you should make this much food or in a day, or cook these foods, or work on abs or whatever." I don't just say that. I'm like, here's different ways that you can integrate it in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Or if you want to specifically target this, here's how you do it. And I show you, and I get in there and I
Yeah.
get dirty with it. I don't just like write it up and here you go. Because like I said, it's up to interpretation. I can say, do 20 crunches and or do like 5 sets of 20 or whatever, and do it for this long and this many days and whatever. Or I could show you how you can alternate those to really be their maximum efficiency, and you can't always write that so that people can understand it, So, and it's case by case. Like if you're in a specific person, like, oh, what are the best sources of protein? Well, what can you digest best? How does your
Yeah.
stomach work? How does how much
Yeah.
stress are you under? Because all of that comes into play and affects it, and that's only going to come out in conversation, and I feel like that's where I'm better, which is weird because I can write,
Yeah, you're good at writing.
yeah, but like
But you're good at-
straightforward stuff.
You're
like,
good at writing like your thoughts.
Yeah.
You're good at writing what you would be saying to someone.
Yeah.
Like inexpressive, not okay, so you have to do this. And you
Not
have to
like
do,
step
not,
by step,
Yeah,
yeah.
not like a recipe.
I should try writing a recipe book, but like how I would understand it.
Oh my god. Please don't. I mean, there's people that would definitely benefit from that, but my god, please don't.
Add parsley. Smell it. Do you like the way it smells? All right, now add.
Just keep adding it until it's too much.
Add it until you like the smell,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just interesting, the way things are going and how things are coming out and whatever.
But yeah, it's just there's a lot of different things happening right now, and finding out ourselves in a different way, and being that balance for each other.
Enjoying that journey of evolving.
Yes.
Like, and that's our like gift and curse at the same time almost, is that just when we feel like we're starting to reach a level, like we hit the level, and then like sometimes we're there for a little while, but then like we discover this whole new universe of levels,
Yeah.
And that's that's the name of the game, and where we stop is where we decide to stop. You know? Yeah. So
That's kind of there's a lot in this. There's a lot of information from us in this, but I think you guys got to kind of learn some things about us that we're learning about ourselves. We're realizing.
And that's really the point of what the show is, to share our adventure so that people going through the same difficulties and things can hear this and maybe get inspired. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are literally on this journey with us. Like, you are there as we are going from point A to point B and zigzagging to point Z.
Yeah, going to point Z and then coming back to C, and
I mean, like, wait, what about F?
Going to point 15 and then jumping back into the ABCs.
Yeah, so it's definitely it's a roller coaster, and you guys, like I said, you guys are here for it. And we appreciate that, and we appreciate you so much. And we're so happy to, like, share this with you.
We love you.
We need, like, a soundboard, like those disc jockeys.
Yeah.
So oh, my God. We could put legit lightning sounds.
Little sound. My lightning sound is legit, first of all. GG. Mine's better.
That is a lightning sound.
Mine's way better.
Oh, that was it.
See? And it's anticlimactic, too. Yeah. Mine's better.
Okay, what do you... That was really loud. What do you think... Without going into too much detail, I don't know if I want to ask that because you're going to tell me I shouldn't have asked that.
Just ask. What?
Do you think, I know the answer already. Do you think that, or do you see me having more success going down one of the new paths or an old path? I know exactly how you're going to answer this.
I will not say.
Oh, I knew that. That's why I don't want to ask it.
I want this is your thing, and that's part of your growth, and I don't want to influence that.
That's why I stopped myself originally from asking it, because I knew as I actively asked, I was like, no, I'm not putting it out into the universe for a reason, because I need to figure it out. I can't then ask him, which will then influence my mental decision.
Yeah, I consider something like that like going to a psychic.
Yeah.
Like, they can tell you whatever the future is going to be, but as soon as you hear it, your future is going to be influenced, you know?
Yep.
So there's a background to that where I have said it in the past that I think that Courtney's confidence in her decision making is what will make her unstoppable. Yeah. And I mean that in absolute like God mode, like like better than Captain Marvel, powerful, like unstoppable.
The reason he says will be is because my confidence in making a decision is being worked on. I'm very influenced by other people.
And it's not that you're not confident.
No.
It's just that in a lot of things, because of like your upbringing and things like that, it's just a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you've been bred to
go
the more certain route.
And I very much live in that like doubt of, is this feasible? Mm-hmm. Is this what I really want to do? I'm always kind of questioning, is this what I really want to do? Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I am a textbook overthinker.
And I am too. And that's why, you know, I kind of started mastering the like making my own decisions, and if I mess it up, I mess it up. Mm-hmm. But I think that that's the worst thing that you can go through, but it's also the most beneficial thing for you to go through. Is
It's rewarding.
like a question like that, you have to figure that
Yeah.
out for yourself. I cannot tell you that information because it's not my
Yeah.
path.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's why I stopped myself.
but
originally
no,
from
it's a
asking
good
it.
question because I know there's going to be people out there listening who are stuck in these situations where they're like, "Oh, I don't know if shouldn't I, you know, for anything."
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that question is what you already know.
Mm-hmm.
You already know the answer to your question. The problem is you either need to hear it from somebody else or you're insecure in your choice, but
Yeah.
nobody else can make that choice for you.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But when you start doing it, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
You try again, you fail,
Yeah.
and then you do something else. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, no, and I meant to say this earlier, and that's part of the whole process is that
that was to Courtney, but also to anybody
Everyone.
out there listening within the same situation. Like,
yeah.
you know,
But that's something that like I said, I meant to say this earlier that I lost my train of thought. Oh, got it. That there's never a wrong time in your business to kind of
or life.
or life to pause and be like, am I doing what I want to do? Is this the right path? You know what? I'm going to switch up the game. The amount of people I know who were in one field and then in their 30s at some point were like, this isn't what I want to do. I'm going back to school and completely change career paths. Like that is scary, but they are so happy now.
Yeah.
And it's like there's never a wrong time. I'm happy that I'm doing it early in my business, but I also know that if I was 5 years into my business and I was like, I'm not happy,
Yeah.
that's the right time to switch what you're doing. If you're not happy or you're not certain or you're not seeing growth or you're not growing yourself.
Yeah.
If
you're
you're
not feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, if you're doing anything in life that you are like, I hate my job, I hate what I'm doing, I want to do something else, change it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen overnight. And I'm not saying I hate my full-time job because I do very much enjoy it. I just want to be able to work 5 hours a week and make more money than I make right now.
Yeah. And
Plain and simple.
And in the right avenues and doing something you love to do, you know, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's doable.
Yeah. That was a very long lightning question.
Yeah, but it's important too because like, and sometimes it's not a slow transition. Like, I feel like with the Vetco thing, when my coworker had introduced me to the idea of like, oh, just put your resume in.
Yeah.
Like I was scared to death to do it, but I was like, okay, like
For
like
your first vet job or your second one? The one you're at now?
the one I'm in now.
Okay, yeah.
Like he was like, just email this person your resume, and you know they'll give you a call. And that was like a couple of months ago, but I was not at a point where I was more at a point of like, oh, I don't really want to do anything else. I'm just going to do my personal business. And I'm hoping that, you know, Vetco will just fall to the side. My business will take over and then I can ditch Vetco and just do my business. And, you know, it's in the future for that to happen. But I saw this opportunity and I didn't realize I saw it, you know. It was one of those things where like, should I or shouldn't I? And then I was like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, and just taking that turn, that quick, like, you know, redirection of whatever, you know, I've fallen into, like I told you last week, like I'm falling into this world where it's people who resonate with me better than any other job that I've been at before. Like, yeah, there's some little drama here and there and stuff like that, but it's people who are quirky like me, and they're like, you know, they have, you know, but they're health driven at the same time, and they know about fitness and they know about health because they're in the medical field. And, you know, it's just people who are vibing more.
You can have conversations with them.
Yeah, and it's people who are vibing more along my wavelength and my age and, you know, things like that. And it's just a great alternative path that I decided to take because I jumped on that opportunity, So I was just saying that because sometimes it's not like a slow transition. Sometimes it's like it hits you and you got to take it.
Yeah.
But those are the riskiest opportunities sometimes have the biggest rewards.
Mm-hmm.
But like when he told me that, I questioned it like, oh, I don't really know, but I feel like this would be a great opportunity. Like I knew that.
I kind of remember you applying for that. And you were like, I don't know if anything's going to come of it. I mean, if anything, like at least I'm in a different spot and I'm not happy working where I am. At least it would switch that up and that can just be a temporary thing. And then after a couple months when you finally because they had emailed you back and were like, hey, we've got this, but it just wasn't working with our schedule at that time.
Yeah.
And then they literally just emailed you one night like, hey, we've got an overnight position. And I think it was in less than a week. It was within a couple of days you were hired.
Yeah.
And that's another, sometimes it'll you'll start this process and then it'll halt and you'll kind of almost forget about it a little bit and start looking okay, well, maybe there's other opportunities in life. And then the thing that's supposed to be in your life at that time is literally going to smack you in the face. Hey, I'm here. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And jump on it. When something hits you in the face like that, jump on it, because whether it works out or not, you are still going to learn and grow from that opportunity.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants anything to fail or not work out, but those are sometimes what you grow and learn from the most. And so, yes, taking those jumps are super scary, but take them. Take those jumps, especially when they hit you in the face.
And I started saying this before, it was at a time when I wasn't happy with Vetco, but I knew that, and I knew I wanted to do my own business, like I said, but I didn't realize how unhappy I was at Vetco until this opportunity came up. And then all of a sudden I was like, I really want to hear back from them. You know, after a week or two, I was like, I really want to check out this opportunity. And then I started looking at other animal hospitals and, lo and behold, when I was ready to make that transition, they called me back and it was game on. You know?
Yeah. Instead of, you had gone from looking for any opportunity to, well, I want any opportunity within the vet world.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. And
this is a whole nother episode.
Being one that, worked out really well and is working.
Yeah.
And who knows where it's going to bring me, but I think I'll have a better time with it here than I would have if I stayed at Vetco.
And that makes a huge difference when you are trying to do your own thing on the side, and make that your full gig. That when you are happy where you're working, even if you're working and you're not going to be there forever, if you're happy there, it makes everything else in your life, it brings you joy, because you're not I'm not looking forward to work. You're just in a better headspace.
Yeah, definitely.
So that lightning round question led to a whole nother episode.
Yep. Real quick, we'll do a last one. I think we're just going to keep it to one each this time since it went. But it was good. It was good. It was good conversation kickoff right there. So, what was your favorite part about this weekend? To back shadow, today you went to your sister's house
in Jersey.
Unfortunate.
Dirty Jers.
I mean New Jersey, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Michael was yelling Dirty Jers in the restaurant, and I was like, you need to stop. We're someone's going to hurt us. Please stop.
To anybody that lives in New Jersey, we're sorry.
I do love Jersey. It's
that you live there, but
no, I do like Jersey. I do like it. It's my sister lives there, so we love poking fun at it. But so I went to Jersey today with the kids and my mom and my dad. And yesterday was a low-key day at home. My favorite part of this weekend was probably all the time the kids spent outside. And being with them. I have a not great tendency where I don't like to be outside. I don't mind going for walks, but it has to be the right temperature for me to want to be outside and actively just sit outside. And so this weekend, I stepped a little bit out of the comfort zone because it wasn't as warm as it was on, let's say, Thursday, Friday this week, where it was like, no, I want to be outside. It's like a good like 55, 60. It's not windy. Today was windy. It was cold. You know, the playground was cold. But seeing the kids so happy and getting that fresh air with them and not being a homebody the way I tend to be, it was nice. It was a lot of, yes, I know you weren't there and that part sucked, but it was a lot of family time.
Yeah.
And not just like kids getting in trouble family time.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
That makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference. It's this week adjusting for me to you not being home at night.
It was tough.
That part was fine. It was the days that were really hard.
Yeah.
But I also know it's the kids adjusting too, because they would be looking for you. They'd be like, wait, daddy's at work? Daddy, like, where's daddy? And I was like, no, daddy's sleeping. That's why I've got like, so it's just, they're testing the limits with me because they know you're either not around or you're sleeping. It's just everyone adjusting. So it's only
and
going to.
Next week it'll switch up again.
Yep.
But at least
In
it's
good
going to be
ways.
you going to work, you know, and then like it'll be our like next week starts our routine.
Yeah.
Like the new routine we've been both fearing and excited for, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. But we're gonna wrap this up here.
Don't want to
I think
keep
it's
you
been
too
a long
long.
enough episode and got a little scattered, but I enjoyed it.
Hope you guys, I hope you stuck it out and listened to the whole thing. If you did, thank you.
Yep.
Because it was a little
And
scattered. But
leave a number 5 in our Instagram comments all week. If you've heard this at least once a day, comment the number 5 on our most recent Instagram posts throughout the week. I want to see who made it this far.
just let us know. Just let us know.
But
I'll send you
until
a virtual
next time,
hug.
if you guys want to check out any of our information, it's in the show notes as usual. Get in touch with us. You know, we're in the same boat, but we can definitely help you guys out. We can give you resources.
Yeah.
You can meet with both me or Courtney or whatever, and you can talk, hang out, whatever you need to do.
And the best part is that since my business path is kind of up in the air, you can come to me about anything.
Yeah.
I'm not in any specific mode right now. It's actually kind of freeing.
Yep. So we'll talk to you guys next time, and
See you next week.
see you next week. Well, we'll talk. If we saw you, it might be a little weird. Bye, guys.
Bye.